Excuse me. All right. We live with it. We got a college football show, recap show. I'm gonna write up, you guys. Gotta send the link out. All right, you guys. Let me just give it a minute. Everything settle in. Now we'll start talking because we start off with the Friday game that lived up to the hype more than we all thought it would. If I'm gonna be honest, it lived up to more of the hype than I expected it to. This whole weekend was crazy. I gotta say that. This whole weekend was a crazy week in college football and in football in general, I think. NFL, the games were amazing. We had upsets that no one expected, games that were crazy, went down to the wire. I believe that's what I need to put on. Alright, there we go. Everything's good now. Alright. So, we start off with Illinois versus Nebraska. Illinois versus Nebraska. What a game. What a damn game Illinois gave Nebraska. Went down to the wire. Was one of the best games of the weekend. 31-24. Illinois pulled it off, which was one of the biggest upsets I think Illinois may have ever had in their. It wasn't a big upset because it was 24 versus 22, but it kind of was because no one expected Illinois to be this year. No one expected them to beat Kansas. No one expected them to beat Nebraska. But I can say this, though, that we saw Dylan Raiola. He struggled for his first time. He bounced back nicely after things. But there was moments where you saw that, okay, he is a freshman. He is still young. Like, he was just in high school last year. You saw a lot of that yesterday, or on Friday night. You saw a lot of that stuff then. You just had to say, okay, there's still a lot of improvement for Dylan Raiola to have. Especially when your team, when Nebraska gets flagged 28 times. That's one of your biggest problems. How is Nebraska expected to win a game when you guys have 28 flags on you in 4 games? You understand that is way too many flags for offensive line and your what's good turn up. But Illinois, I gotta give the credit to Luke Altmaier. He's got the dog mentality in him. He never gave up. Was 21 for 27. Had 215 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's insane. That's 2 top 25 teams that Illinois has beat. Kansas, we know Kansas was definitely not a top. I bet everybody about to bet. Right now, I'm talking about Illinois pulling off that game in Nebraska. It's like, we're going to go games. We're going to go games. So, like, we're going to talk about this game. See what y'all think about that. I'm going to tell y'all what I think about it. Then I want y'all to know what I want. Then I want to see what y'all think about it. Because this game just went. The only problem with Nebraska is they couldn't get their run game started. From what they used to do, what they've been doing all year, they've been setting up Dylan Raiola on these nice passes and stuff like that with the run game. The run game, Illinois shut that down. So I could say that right there that Nebraska, things to work on. But we had a big guy touchdown. Brandon Henderson, 6'5", 335, had a 6-yard reception. That what's good, bro? But we had a big guy score a touchdown in the Nebraska-Illinois game. Illinois tackle, good for him. Nebraska just couldn't get, like what I was saying, Nebraska just couldn't get their run game. You saw a lot of stuff they needed to improve on. And I think that they're going to be good after time. It's just Nebraska's the team of the future. They're not a team of this year. I think that they caught some eyes. I think that next year they're going to be a team. Dylan Morales is going to be a future star. We all know that. It's just right now he looked like a freshman. And I think that if you're a Nebraska fan or anything like that, you're going to see Nebraska be a top 25 team for the next at least 3 years with Dylan Raiola, because they'll be back in the top 25. Nebraska won't make the playoffs, but they'll be battling teams. I think they'll give Ohio State a good game. I think they'll give teams better games than people think. I just think that they're going to have some struggling games like they did against Illinois. Because Illinois kind of gave them a blueprint of how to beat them. Look, I'm going to show you to the point. All right. We'll get into Notre Dame in a minute, but because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but we can't win with Riley Leonard at quarterback. Like when we play big teams, we can't win with Riley Leonard. If we put Steve Angelo, the backup, in, or C.J. Carr in, the freshman, we would be one of the best teams in the country because we could have a pass game. The only thing we have is a run game. So a team's going to set up like we're the Baltimore Ravens. They're just going to make sure that we can't run. So that's the problem. What's good, can't guard? But yeah. Yes, sir. I'm wiring my boy. But yeah, I feel like with Notre Dame, it's just they need to sit Riley Leonard. Only thing he can do is run. Yeah, I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I'm telling you guys right now, I'm being honest with y'all. If Riley Leonard's the quarterback, Notre Dame ain't making the playoffs. Not even close. Like this upcoming week they play Louisville. I see a lot of, I don't know what to think about that game. I think Louisville could pull that game off because they can run. Notre Dame, only thing they do is run. We know Notre Dame got no passing game. Riley Leonard can't throw the ball more than 10 yards. Notre Dame has a lot of potential. They do. They have a lot of young guys. They're a young team. But Riley Leonard's a quarterback. So Riley Leonard ain't going to do crap because we didn't know anything about Riley Leonard before last year's. Notre Dame just needs to fix a lot of stuff. It says only... It already started. But yeah, Notre Dame just needs to work on stuff. I think that Riley Leonard isn't the answer. Riley Leonard needs to work on his arm. If you don't have an arm, yeah, he just needs to get his arm better because he can't throw for shit. And teams know that. So they're going to make sure, they're going to put a QB spy to watch him to make sure he's not running. It's easy to stop Notre Dame's offense once you stop Riley Leonard. It really is. Because the only thing they'll be able to do is run because we know he can't pass it deep. But let me get into this Tennessee game. Tennessee-Oklahoma. Let me know in the chat what y'all think about Tennessee-Oklahoma. Nebraska, I don't think Nebraska was going to win it all. Hell no. I didn't think that. I think that Nebraska, they have a team of the future. This year, I think, was the year that they get put on the map. People start talking about them. You get that where you're like, okay, Nebraska is actually a team. Like, Nebraska has a decent squad. Like, they're not going to win crazy. Like, they're probably not going to beat Ohio State. But I think they'll give Ohio State a decent run for their money. Like, I do. Like, I think that they have a decent team. They have the right pieces. I like their coach. I like Rule. We all know Rule is a great college coach. And his numbers back it up. His wins back it up. But let's talk about this Tennessee game. I want to see what y'all think about Tennessee. Do y'all think Tennessee's legit? Do y'all believe in Nico? I do. I think Nico is a good quarterback. Oklahoma, they don't got an offense, though. Oklahoma, they just sat. It was announced yesterday that they're sitting Jackson Arnold for Michael Hawkins. So that goes into Oklahoma. Okay, so now Oklahoma has Hawkins who can run the ball and can throw it. He was showing he could throw it. But Tennessee is impressive. I can't wait to see Tennessee, Alabama now. Yo, what's good, Zay? But I just can't wait for that Tennessee, Alabama game to come up because Tennessee impressed me in this game. I gotta say that Tennessee just doesn't have an offense. They showed that they have a good defense too that can shut down that Oklahoma offense, which wasn't good in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Oklahoma does not have an offense, which is surprising because they're used to known for their offense, not their defense. But this year it's all changed. They're known for their defense this year because their coach is a defensive coach, and their offense is terrible. And it showed. Their offense was just horrible. Yeah, they put up 15, but it was just when Tennessee wasn't trying. They already had the game. It was 25-3 at one point, and it was just terrible. They couldn't hold the line all game. Like, Dylan Simpson had 24 carries, 92 yards, 1 touchdown. Dylan Simpson, why does no one talk about Dylan Simpson I'm not saying he's the top running back in, like, top 5 running back, but he's a top 10 running back in college football, and I feel like no one really talks about Dylan Simpson from Tennessee. And I feel like more people should be talking about him when he's been consistent. I believe in every single game he's had at least 90 yards or above. Do I like Jalen Milroe or Cam Ward? That's a good question, Troy. So I think college football-wise, I think Cam Ward is a better player. I think Cam Ward is a better player, but I think Jalen Milroe has more potential. I know that may sound crazy, but I think Milroe does have more potential. Oh, yeah. Oklahoma is overrated. But remember, Oklahoma's are overrated every single year. They're one of those teams that they get ranked just because of their name. And this year, no one believed in Jackson Arnold. No one believed at all. Cam Ward is better, but I think Milroe has a lot more potential in the future because he's younger. So I think Jalen Milroe could have potential, like better potential. Oh, I think Ward's going to be your Heisman this year. I can say you guys that. I hopped on that hype train. I think he's going to get Heisman. I do. I think Cam Ward, if he continues to do what he's doing, he will get the Heisman. Miami will get another Heisman. But it is the committee, and we all know what they like to give that to their big name schools. So say Carson Beck or Jalen Milroe start having their self-a season, you know that they're going to start going for Alabama and Georgia. We all know how the committee is. But with that Oklahoma game, I think Oklahoma, I'm interested to see what they do now with Hawkins at quarterback because they sat Arnold. So I'm interested to see about their underrated finish. Utah wins 9% of the games. All right. Oh, Carson Beck wins. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think, but we all know how the committee is. We know they have their SEC teams that they know that are their top. Georgia and Bama. We all know, and Ohio State. They love stroking them. They love stroking Bama, Ohio State, and Georgia. They love doing that. We all know that. But Oklahoma, yeah, they win those games, but this year I don't think they're going to do good. I don't know because they sat Arnold. Arnold wasn't the answer. Now they got Hawkins. I saw some flashes from him, but I want to see more. I want to see more of what Hawkins will do. This week they play at Arkansas, Oklahoma. That's their next game, at Arkansas. So that's where I can say, I'll tell you guys after that game where Oklahoma will be, where they stand. Because right now, when Arnold was the starter, they ain't going nowhere. Arnold couldn't get that offense going, couldn't get nothing going, nothing. Literally, it was sad to watch Arnold. Because all this hype, they're talking about, oh, Arnold's going to be this, Arnold's going to be that. He's a top prospect. But where was he? Was the moment too big for him? Spotlight too big? I think so. And Hawkins came in that game, and he did pretty good. Yeah, I don't think Carson Beck deserves it. I think it's Carson Beck's team around him. I do. And Heisman, are we going to say this? should a Heisman struggle against a Kentucky team that isn't all that? That their defense, hold on, let me go like this for you guys. Kentucky, who when they played South Carolina, let up 31 points, and then, not saying South Carolina ain't bad. South Carolina, they got a good squad. But the Kentucky, they're a mediocre SEC team. Y'all already starting with the delusional takes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Brock Purdy. I mean, Brock Purdy ain't bad. I don't get Brock Purdy isn't terrible. He's a good system quarterback. That's what Carson Beck is. He fits into Kirby Smart's system just like Stetson Bennett. He's a perfect fit for that. And I think that's why you see these Georgia quarterbacks having good stat lines and stuff like that, because they are in their system. They are in that right system. They use it correctly. Oh, crap. All right, we're on Oklahoma now. All right. But, yeah. With Tennessee, I think Tennessee's I'm interested to see. They have a bye this upcoming week. They don't play this next week. So, I'm interested to see what they can do against. We showed they beat now Oklahoma now. So, now they beat NC State. So, that's 2 top 25 teams. NC State should have never been in the top 25. Literally call Cam Ward MVP. Cam Newton. That's a big pull right there. That's a big pull. D100, you meant D1? Play legit D1 teams. They played nobody. Oklahoma's their only team that was the challenge that had a defense. Because I can say that Oklahoma actually has a defense. Because they have their coaches. What's his name? He was from Clemson. The old DC for Clemson. He has a defense. He has the only thing that he knows how to coach. He doesn't have an offense, and it showed. It showed that they don't have an offense. No, D100 is. Oh, okay, my bad. I was confused on that one, bro. I was like, D100, what? All right, I got you now. But, I think Tennessee, I can't wait to see, though. I just want to see what Tennessee does now when they play their Bamas, they play their Georgia, because I think they play both this year. Or it's either they play Bama, Georgia, or they play Bama, Texas. I forgot which one. Look, call me crazy. We can't more going number one. Honestly, with how this draft class is, I can really see that happening, Zay. I'm not going to lie to y'all. With this draft class, with the quarterbacks, how weak of a quarterback draft this is. Because, yes, I'm saying it's a weak quarterback draft. I think that you could see Cam Ward go number one. This draft class, I feel like it's a more defensive draft class than anything. Wide receivers, defense, quarterbacks, and you got a few that may be decent in the NFL. But I don't, you know what I mean? And I know that's a hot take, and y'all probably going to disagree with me in the chat. But I think that this draft class for quarterbacks is kind of weak. You got Cam Ward, you got Shador, but Shador is going to get humbled in the NFL. And I don't even like talking about Colorado because I feel like they're way too much glorified. Everyone hyped them up when it's like, I want to see them beat a legit team. We're talking about D100 teams. Tennessee hasn't played one. I need to see Colorado beat one. I do. I need to see Colorado play a legit team and actually win. Because they haven't done that last year or this year. Baylor, that ain't no damn legit team. Baylor's going to be a 5-7 team. 6-6 if they have a good year. I need to see Colorado play a real damn team. All right, let's go to the next game. We got Vanderbilt almost pulling off the upset. Vanderbilt almost put off one of the biggest damn upsets this year. Imagine if Vanderbilt beat Virginia Tech and... Yeah, Quinn Ewers. Oh, I do. Y'all gonna see what this quarterback class is. Y'all gonna see. This reminded me a lot of When did Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder, and all of them come out? What draft class was that? Because that's what it's reminding me of. I know I sound crazy, but y'all going to see. I think next year and the year after that, oh yeah, we're going to see good quarterbacks. Because this year, if you go by quarterbacks that are eligible to go, you got Shador, Cam, and Ewers. That's your top three. That's it. Who else do you got in there? Name other quarterbacks. Dart, he hasn't played nobody yet. And he's got to stay healthy. That's Dart's problem. See? Turn up. You agree? This quarterback is buns. It is. Like, Travis, I can see Travis, out of all players, I can see Travis Hunter going 1. I really can see that. The way this draft is going now, I can see Cam Ward. It's going to be Cam Ward. If the draft happened today, it's Cam Ward or Travis Hunter going 1. It is. But let's talk about this Vanderbilt game, you guys. Here, what's good, Amari? Let's talk about Vanderbilt real quick. Imagine if Vanderbilt pulled this off. Imagine if Vanderbilt beat Missouri. It went to 2 overtimes. It was crazy. I was watching this game. I was watching this with my brother. We were watching this. Vanderbilt had it. And like my favorite saying is college kickers. You gotta love college kickers. Because they could make it from 27. They could make it from 57. But then when it's the time to make it to win the game from 37 yards, they miss it. They miss the damn thing. And it's just like, come on. Vanderbilt and Missouri kicker, I think they both missed 6 total field goals, 5 or 6 total field goals in the game. I said the quarterback class is weak. Because, okay, Riley Leonard's a senior. You think Riley Leonard's a top quarterback? Like, hell no. If we go by seniors that are eligible, because remember, you can't go juniors. Yes, they could go. Hell no, I'm not crazy. I'm being truthful. You're going to see. Watch the draft class. You're going to see quarterbacks not get drafted. You're only going to see 1 or 2 get drafted in the first round this year because they're not as good as everyone thinks. Milroe's a junior. He's not a senior. I said seniors. That's why you got to go with seniors now. So you got to say Shador and Cam Ward and Ewers. That's your 3 seniors. There's Dart's a junior, right? All right, hold me to this, because watch. Not even in the draft. Next season, watch them none of them be crazy in the NFL. I think Ewers he may be a average quarterback. Shador, he's going to get humbled because his ego is going to get in the way and he's going to be like Baker Mayfield. Someone's going to humble him and it's going to take it to where he gets to a new team. He's going to have a probably decent career, but he's going to get humbled first. Shador needs to his head's too big right now. Someone needs to humble Shador. It's going to happen. Ewers, I don't mind Ewers, but I don't think Ewers is all that. I think Arch Manning's better than Ewers. Not right now. I think in the future he will be. I think Ewers he's average. He's all right. I think Milroe, I got to watch some more of him this year. I won't speak on Milroe. Dart, he needs to play someone real. Dart needs to play someone real. Dart hasn't played no one real this year. I don't care what anybody says. Dart, when he plays Alabama, if Dart don't show up, then we can take Dart off this board. We can. He has the talent, but he can't be in the big games. Ask Caleb Williams about that in the NFL now, because he's getting exposed. Guaranteed a top 10 pick? All right, good one there, Zay. Okay. Genty should be a top 10 pick, that running back, because running backs are going back in the league now. See that happening. There's a couple of linemen that are probably going to go there. There's the guy, Harold Perkins, if he goes there. Luther Burton, thank you. T-Mac. What cornerbacks? We got some cornerbacks out there too that are better. Yep, that's what I was thinking about. James Pierce, Tennessee D lineman. Harold Perkins from LSU. Oh yeah, there's hella players out there that are better than these QBs. Will Johnson. Turnup's got naming all the defense. This is a defensive draft in a wide receiver draft heavy this year. It's defense and wide receivers that are going to go crazy off the board the first round. I'm already seeing it from here. Like, real shit, this is a defensive draft. It really is. It's gonna, people are like, oh, well, this, yeah. No. If you look at the NFL landscape too, like, you only have 4 teams maybe that need a quarterback. 4 teams that need a quarterback. Like a starting quarterback. You go Titans, Browns need one now because Watson ain't it. Yeah, the Patriots don't need one. Jets don't need one. Well, Jets may go draft the backup, but we all know how Aaron feels about drafting backups. Saints don't need one because Derek Carr's doing his thing. So what teams need? The Raiders maybe? But will the Raiders have a top pick? You see where I'm coming at? A lot of teams don't need quarterbacks right now. The last couple years, we've had a quarterbacks just take over the NFL. Young quarterbacks right now are taking over the NFL. What teams need a quarterback? Honestly. Except for the Panthers, unless Andy Dalton start playing, unless Andy Dalton keep going. You're thinking this is a heavy quarterback draft. All right, you got Dart. Let me go with the top quarterbacks right now. You got Dart, you got Cam Ward, and you got Shedeur Sanders and Ewers. Those are your top 4. Those are your top 4 quarterbacks. Milroe's a junior, so I don't put Milroe in because Milroe can say he can stay another year. He can, so that's why you always say I always go with just seniors. Go with just seniors. Because the juniors can say, "Oh, we're gonna stay another year." We all know how that happens. So if it's a junior, say they can stay. I always say that until the end of the year. But let me go back to this Vanderbilt game, you guys, real quick. Because this game, there's a quarterback at Vanderbilt that needs to get some respect. That he's not gonna be a great NFL player. He's probably not even gonna get drafted. But he got heart. Diego Pavia for Vanderbilt, he's got that dog in him. He's not giving up. Every single game I've watched him, he's throwing it, he's running at people. He's not running away from contact. He's probably 6 foot at most, running full speed at these linebackers, Missouri linebackers, not caring. Pushing his way into the end zone. It's amazing. It was amazing to see. I'm sad that they couldn't win it because of the kicker couldn't tie it up. But what a game. If you guys haven't seen the Vanderbilt Missouri game, you guys got to go rewatch it. Watch the highlights. You're actually right on that, Can't Guard Me. It is Beck. But honestly, yeah, you're right. You are right, though. But also we can say this, though. What has Beck accomplished? He didn't win the National last year. And that was, you know what I mean? He lost to Bama when he was supposed to beat Bama. So what has Beck really accomplished? You know what I'm saying now? This quarterback class, it's a lot of iffy. Yeah, you're performing well. But from what I've heard from experts too talking, it's a weak quarterback class. It is. Experts are saying it. NFL GMs are saying it. It's a weak quarterback class. It is. I hate saying that because there is talent. Ward, Shedeur, Ewers, they are talented. They are. Don't get me wrong. But the problem is that they're weak. I don't think they're going to be stars, this and that in the NFL. I don't. I think they have the potential. I think he has the potential. They all have potential to be something. But right now, I just don't see it. And it matters where they go. It matters where you go. It's shown now that Bryce Young, look at what happened with him. It matters where you go, what system you get put into. They get put into the wrong system, there's their career. They're going to have to find somewhere else to go. And if you swap Ward and Beck, I think that would be insane. Giving Kirby Smart a running quarterback would be insane. Imagine that Georgia offense with a running quarterback. Imagine that. That's not Kirby's style. We know that. But imagine with a running quarterback what Kirby Smart would be able to do with that offense. Even what they're doing right now. Think about that, you guys. Think about that in the chat. All right, but no, we go with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, their kicker should have made a couple of the punts. Didn't make them. Bad. Diego Pavia went 178 yards passing, 84 yards rushing. He had 2 passing touchdowns. Series of mistakes led up to this loss for Vanderbilt. Both kickers were struggling. Luther Burden had 6 receptions. Second half, he disappeared. People, like I was seeing, he didn't really get reception. It was good, say goodbye. But with Luther Burden, he disappeared that second half, but then he appeared when the time mattered. That overtime, Luther Burden showed up in that OT, got that touchdown to take this lead. Just go up in the chat, say goodbye. Y'all you can catch up at what we've been talking about. Right now we're on Vanderbilt and Luther Burden, how he disappeared the second half, but then showed up when he needed to. In that overtime period, showed up, was wide open in that corner of the end zone. Beautiful play, beautiful reception right there. He had ended the game with 2 touchdowns. Happy to see Luther Burden continue to go. And now, next game we got USC Michigan now, which I'm going to be honest with y'all. I thought it was going to be a blowout. I really thought that USC, from what they beat LSU, I thought they were going to beat Michigan for what Michigan showed. But no, Michigan's running back, who is from Massachusetts, from East Roxbury, Khalil Mulligans, was the difference maker. I said watch for him in my other show, the preview show last week. I said for this game, the player that's going to be the difference maker isn't Edwards. He's gone. He's done. He ain't that running back that everyone thought he was. He can't show up in big games. Yeah, he had a touchdown, like 76 yards in this game. I don't care. No, I'm good. Khalil Mullings is the number 1 back now in Michigan. Don't care what anybody says. It's shown. Numbers are showing it. On-field play is showing it. Because what has Edwards done? Nothing. Hasn't showed up. Oh, you showed up in the national championship. That's the only damn big game that he's shown up on. So, Khalil Mullings is that dog. Player to look for. Keep listening for that name. Because he is tearing it up. He was tearing it up. Had a couple big runs that opened the game up for Michigan. Michigan couldn't get no passing. They had Orgy at quarterback. Yeah, I said Orgy. That's his name. He can't throw it more. He's like Riley Leonard. Him and Riley Leonard should be best friends. Because they can't throw the damn ball more than 10 yards. Michigan went old school style football. They went ground and pound. And it showed that they were doing good. And it was very impressive for Michigan to get this game. It was a hard-fought Big Ten victory for Michigan. USC got introduced to Big Ten football by getting beat by the ground and pound. Old school football beat USC in this game. Great game. And we saw Will Johnson have a pick 6. Read the play, jumped the route beautifully, got the pick 6, gave them the lead. Mullins had also, if you're wondering for Mullins' stats, it was 17 carries, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Carson Beck, that's the yep. System, rel. I'm going off from Michigan, but Carson Beck is literally Stetson Bennett. I agree with you on that. He literally is, because think about it, I said, Kirby Smart has a system. He doesn't want these top 5-star prospects. I've been looking at it. I was looking at their recruiting class the next couple of years. They don't have no top 5 like quarterback. They don't. Like a 5-star quarterback, like that's top 5. You don't have that. They have like a 4-star or a 3-star quarterback. Kirby Smart likes those quarterbacks that fit his scheme, that fit his play calling. And that's what I feel like makes Georgia different year in and year out. Kirby Smart goes and gets the players that fits his scheme, not for the name. He doesn't go, oh, I want this guy because of the name, this and that. Like, he'll get his 5 stars on defense around him, but his quarterback, he goes and gets what he needs to get that's going to help him win, help his scheme succeed. But, Michigan, USC looked good on defense. Don't get me wrong. They just let up 3, 4 big run plays that just opened the game up for Michigan to win this game. Michigan hosts Minnesota next Saturday, and USC goes to USC hosts Wisconsin. 2 good games that could be very good games. Should be a good bounce back victory for USC over Wisconsin, who's out without their quarterback, Van Dyke. But I really liked Michigan, how they did it. And also, cool little fact for you guys, Khalil Mullins, he was a linebacker. Michigan converted him to running back. Imagine being a linebacker and then your true calling is being a running back. Imagine that. Like, you are a linebacker, you go to college for linebacker, and then they say, we're going to put you at running back, and then you shine as a running back. What a story right there by Khalil Mullins. What the hell is that? My bad, I'm looking out my window and I see a random ass person walking a dog and never seen him in my neighborhood. I apologize. But, alright, then we got Utah, number 12, Utah going up against Oklahoma State. And I thought Oklahoma State may have come back and won. I thought they were going to come back and win this game. I really thought so. But nope, they didn't. Utah, without Cam Rising. And you guys in the chat, y'all going to love this one. I want y'all to guess who is Utah's quarterback. Who was quarterback for Utah this past game? Who was it? I know who it was. I want to know if you guys know. Let me know in the chat if you guys know who Utah's starting quarterback was. It wasn't Cam Rising. Who was it? Y'all gonna love this name and who he's related to. Because, yeah, Oklahoma State. Well, both of them. Think about this. Both that were supposed to be starting quarterbacks. Alan Bowman is a 7th-year senior. Utah's starting quarterback that was supposed to be Cam Rising is also a 7th-year quarterback. And, I think NCAA needs to fix that. 5 years is the limit. 5 years. Yes, if you get injured, that sucks too bad, but you got other people that want to get into the college that deserve their spot in the sunlight, and they don't get the chance because you have someone that's been in here. They are 27. They already have their own business started, and it's like, why are you playing still? You already have a family. You already yes, Utah's quarterback was related to somebody. I want to see if you guys can get it. Not Cam Rising, but somebody else. He plays his brother plays for the Denver Broncos. He's the backup for the Denver Broncos. That's the biggest hint I can give you. Y'all gonna love this in the comments. I already know y'all gonna love this in the chat. Yup. And I just found this out yesterday when I was doing some research. Y'all, his brother is the backup for the Broncos. But yeah, I feel like NFL, I think, yes, Isaiah Wilson. That is Zach Wilson's brother. That is Zach Wilson. We all remember Zach Wilson at BYU. He is a true freshman, made his first career start against number 14 Oklahoma State. Had 2 interceptions, had a touchdown. Didn't look terrible, didn't look great, but the difference maker in that game, the difference maker in this game for Utah was their running back, Micah Bernard, who had, let me find his stat line, 1 minute. Micah Bernard, he had a career high, 182 yards. He was a difference maker. Their run game, that's what beat Oklahoma State, their run game. Oklahoma State couldn't do it. They sat Bowman, I believe. Oh, yeah, it's going to be hard for his brother to beat what his brother did in college, but it won't be a big of a challenge for him to be a better quarterback than his brother in the NFL, because we all know Zach Wilson. Hide your moms. But, Zach Wilson, we all know what he is. He's the, can I even say, I'm 39, MILF Hunter. That's what Zach Wilson is. He's the MILF Hunter. We all remember that. Like we forgot about that shit. We didn't forget about that shit. But yeah, they benched Alan Bowman midway through the fourth quarter, or they benched Alan Bowman, the starting quarterback for Oklahoma State. Then then he came back in midway through the fourth, scored 2 touchdowns, and got 2 2-point conversions. But the thing is, Utah had the ball 42 minutes of the game. Oklahoma State only had it for 17 and a half minutes. That time of possession right there is crazy different. That is terrible time of possession difference. Terrible. Utah got there. Oklahoma State was one of 8 teams going into this game that didn't allow a sack. Well, Utah's Van Fillinger, who's going to be playing on Sundays. Oh, that's another first-round talent that you guys got to look up. Van Fillinger. Do you guys want me to type it in the chat so you guys can look up his name? It starts with an F. Fillinger. He is going to be a top talent in this draft. Watch out for that. Look out for that name. Van Fillinger for Utah. Got a sack. And also Oklahoma State's safety, Trey Rucker, had 14 tackles and had 2 interceptions in this game. That is insane. 2 interceptions and 14 tackles. He had himself a damn game. But now, talking about Zach Wilson, let's talk about Zach Wilson's alma mater, showing who's boss in Provo. The Mormons came to play football, and they destroyed Avery Johnson in Kansas State. They didn't just beat them, they beat them 38-9. Every aspect of the game, BYU beat Kansas State in. We had one of the craziest punt returns that remind me of Deshaun Jackson's punt return. Literally ran the wrong way, ran all the way around, and scored a touchdown. His name was Parker Kingston. I have the short, if you guys want to see what it was. I have it as a short on my page. Go check it out. I think it's the 4th newest video. So it's like, count 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th one. Count and watch it. It's a crazy, crazy return. Awesome return. Yeah, watch it. It's awesome. Go ahead and then come back and tell me what you think, because it was a crazy ass return. Yeah, out this live, check it out. You're gonna see it. Think of Deshaun Jackson. I think it was when he was with the Eagles. He did that crazy return. It was great. It was crazy. But BYU dominated. Their defense forced 3 turnovers. I'm going to say this. Avery Johnson looked like a freshman. We're talking about Dylan Raiola looking like a freshman. No. This Dylan Raiola, we saw some things that were like, okay, he's got that star in him where he's got that potential where he can do stuff. He works on little things. He's going to be good. Avery Johnson struggled. BYU dominated Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson didn't do nothing. He looked like a rookie. The best way you can explain it, BYU showed that Kansas State's a fraud. And that kind of makes me look at Arizona now and be like, oh no, Kansas State dominated Arizona. So now how good is Arizona? Because Kansas State just got beat by BYU, who is not a star team. But it was BYU's true freshman running back, Sion Moa, Sione is his first name, and his last name is M-O-A, Moa, or Moe. I think I'm saying that right. He had 149 yards. What the fuck? He had 93 yards. I can't even read my own damn handwriting. 93 yards rushing and had a touchdown on 21 carries. Mind you, he's a true freshman. He's doing what he had to do. Their quarterback, Retzloff, threw for 149, 2 touchdowns. Oh, jeez. Charles Woodson won the Heisman. We can't say that unless Travis wins it, then we can have that debate. Because Charles Woodson, didn't he win the Heisman? That was only defense. It was that Woodson, Charles Woodson, correct? I always mess up the Woodsons. For some reason, there's something that in my brain, I mess up the Woodsons. You can't say not that unless Travis Hunter wins the Heisman. Then that debate can happen. Because Charles Woodson is still the only defensive player to win it. So we can't say nothing. Even though, do I say that Charles Woodson should be the only defensive player? Hell no. Aiden Hutchinson should have had it, and Ndamukong Suh should have won it. Those are two other defensive players that should have had the Heisman. Look up the numbers. The numbers will back me up. Y'all got that comment. I'm gonna go back to the BYU game. Y'all talk about that real quick. I just saved you mine. Kansas State, on their first two drives, though, looked okay. They looked like they were driving the ball down the field nicely. They were doing what they had to do, averaging 6.9 yards per carry in that. But then the wheels just fell off. BYU had 31 unanswered points in a 6.5 minute span. 31 unanswered points in a 6.5 minute span between the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third quarter. You understand how much 31 unanswered points is insane? You can't come back from that. And Kansas State doesn't even get a break. They go next week. They got to play Oklahoma State, who's coming off a loss against Utah. So both of these teams are going to be looking for a good win. So that's going to be a game to watch, the Kansas State-Oklahoma State game. And if you guys are wondering about my predictions for all the upcoming games this week, Friday around probably the same time, 12, maybe even earlier. I would have been live earlier today. There's some crazy shit happened last night. So yeah, BYU hosts Baylor next week. Another decent game, especially the game that Baylor gave Colorado. But I also said Baylor, probably not. BYU, the way they perform. But this year, I can say this in college football, any giving Saturday means it. Anyone can win. We've shown. No one thought Kentucky was going to give them Georgia that good of a game. Yes, they lost, but it shows that this year, no, it's all open. It really is. We all know that an SEC team's more than likely going to win it. They can look at Travis and Charles Woodson. All right. Once I'm done talking about the games, bro, remember this. You guys remember the Travis Hunter and Charles Woodson. I'll pull up numbers and we'll see. But with Kansas State, they need a lot to work on. They got exposed. BYU exposed them late night. I fell asleep because it turned into a blowout. I just fell asleep because I was like, I can't watch this no more. Once I saw that kick return. All right. Georgia Tech. We got Georgia Tech. Oh, Travis Hunter. We'll get into that one. Let me just get these so I can get them. Georgia Tech versus Louisville. We got Georgia Tech, Louisville. Neither team could get their ground game going. Literally couldn't get nothing. Both averaged less than 3 yards to carry. But the thing that won it for Louisville was their passing game. Shaw. Both quarterbacks showed out. King for Georgia Tech had 312 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Shaw for Louisville had 269 and had 2 touchdowns. But the difference maker was Ja'Cory Brooks. Old Alabama wide receiver transferred to Louisville. He had 4 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Georgia Tech rolled the dice 5 times and on 4th down. Got it 3 of the times, but on one of the ones that mattered on the 4th quarter, they had to get it. They didn't get it. They were stuffed, and that basically gave Louisville the game, the best of the momentum. I like that they were going for it, their aggression there, but you got to be smarter. It's a must-win game for you guys, Georgia Tech, because you don't want to lose 2 games, have 2 losses in your season or on your record, and now they do. So I think that they got a lot. Yeah, it's just Louisville. They play Notre Dame this week. Number 17 Notre Dame. That one is a game to see who's real. That I'm not gonna lie to you guys. As a Notre Dame fan and as a college football fan, I feel like that's a game that's gonna prove to everyone who's real. Is Louisville for real? Is Notre Dame for real? Yes, Notre Dame they beat Texas A&M, but then they turned around the next week and lost to Northern Illinois. So now it's like okay, and then they struggled against Miami, Ohio. So now it's like Notre Dame, Louisville. Let's see who's real. That's what Georgia Tech gets a bye next week, so they get to regroup after this loss. But now it's time to see Louisville. Louisville has next week. They got Notre Dame. I'm interested to see that Notre Dame game. And like I said, NC State got dog walked. 28-7 in the first quarter. You got 28 skunked. Terrible. NC State lost 59-35. NC State put up 21 in the fourth quarter when Clemson literally had their fifth stringers in there. And K. Klubnik had himself a damn game, had 209 passing, 70 yards rushing, and 4 total touchdowns. Phil Maffa, 7 carries, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. But then this is where it makes you go this. How damn good is that Georgia defense? How damn good is that Georgia defense? Because they shut down that Clemson offense that just put up 59 against NC State, who NC State isn't great. But then against App State, they put up 66. Like, Clemson, what I don't know, because the ACC is so 50-50 this year. ACC, it's like one team can have a great game, and the next week they struggle. Then the next week they have this crazy game. And it's just like ACC, it's so wide open this year. I'm interested to see how I think Clemson could win the ACC this year, but it's going to be a challenge. They got to beat Miami. I want to see Miami Clemson. I do. I think that could feed families. I really think so. But the ACC also has a lot of sleepers in it. I can't lie to you guys. I do. That could pull off some upsets. Like a Boston College could pull off an upset. A Syracuse could pull off an upset. A Louisville could pull off an upset. A Georgia Tech could maybe pull off an upset. You know what I mean? There's a lot of teams out there in the ACC that could pull off upsets against the Miami. Because you could get Miami on a bad weekend. You could. You never know. Like, it's college football. It's 18-year-olds to 20, at this point, 25-year-olds. Same age, but I'm 21. It's like something could be going on in personal life, distracts them from the game. Girl could be cheating on them, something like that. Their game's all messed up. It's how college football is. Any given Saturday, especially this year. I just think Clemson, I like their freshman cornerback. I got to say the defense is young, though. I got to say Clemson's defense is young. Very young. Their freshman cornerback, Ashton Hampton, had 53 yards and a pick 6. He had himself a damn game. But good game for Clemson. I don't know who they play next. I know we have a Clemson fan watching. Who do you guys play next? Who does Clemson play next? Dabo is out coaching Cristobal. Oh, yeah. I think he would out coaching wise. Yes, Dabo would win coaching wise. But, like, Miami should. Yeah, because I don't trust Cristobal. I don't. That is a good point. I don't trust him. But who is they have next? Who does Clemson play next? Let me look. Well, I'll look it up. You're tripping. You think Clemson is destroying Miami? I think it would be a great game. Oh, Miami? Wait, so you meant Miami? Oh, okay. Well, you just messed that whole damn thing up. Turn up. I don't know, because it is Clemson, though. Like, I don't like saying that, but it is Clemson, so Clemson may do it. Like, they may do. Dabo knows how to win those games. Cristobal don't. You know what I mean? Like, Dabo knows how to win those big games that are in prime time, that everyone's going to be watching. It's a top 25 game, maybe even top 10 game. Like, I haven't seen Cristobal be able to win those yet. So that's my only thing right there. Now let's talk about James Madison. Nope, shit. Screw that game. All right, there you go. What a damn game James Madison had. How do you allow a team to come into your field and put up 70? Literally food to Miami. JMU, UNC, how do you let up 70 points? 70 points! 70 points is insane at your home field. 70-50, both teams put up over 600 yards. Wow, James Madison. They came to play and UNC didn't. That was terrible performance by UNC. James Madison, I believe they start their climb. They go now to play next game. They're 3-0 now again. They're on their little undefeated streak again. Next game, they go and play. They got Ball State. That should be a victory. Yeah, they don't pay anything until Coastal, and Coastal kind of got exposed to against Virginia. They lost 43-23 or 21, if I remember correctly. And then yes. James Madison's coach. Thank you, Can't Guard Me. He's from, and that's where, you want to know why I was confused with this now? I was really confused when Sluka, you guys know who Sluka is, the old Holy Cross quarterback, when he transferred to UNLV and not James Madison. That surprised me. I really thought Sluka was going to go to James Madison and follow Chesney. I really did. I really thought so, but no, he went to UNLV. Out of all places, he went to UNLV. And then UNC, who do they play next? They got Duke next. That could be a game. Duke versus North Carolina. They both suck this year. So that may be a great game. They both really do suck. So that could be a great game. Also, did you guys see Temple's kicker? Temple's kicker kicked a Maddox Trujillo, a 64-yarder. He kicked a 64-yard field goal. Got his own quarterback. Yeah, I do too. I think he found his new one now. I do. I think, yeah, 64 yards. And Temple. He's at Temple, you guys. Temple's kicker kicked the 64. You know, he just got himself an NFL contract. 64 yards? Are you kidding me? 64 freaking yards. And didn't just make it, he snuck it in too. It was I wish I had the highlight on my thing. I wish I had it on my on the YouTube on my shorts, but I don't have it. I'll put it up I'll put it up though for you guys so you guys can see that shit. Yeah, that kick, yeah, Temple's going to have a draft pick this year, you guys. Temple will, and it's going to be their kicker. But yeah, that was a crazy kick. Later I saw it pop up on my phone, and my phone updated me 64-yarder from Temple. I'm like, Temple? One thing Temple known for, they got a 64-yard kicker. But now my player of the week is first ever player of the week for KBM. Surprise! Why the freak is this one up there? This is gonna be a surprise, but it is Navy's quarterback. Y'all probably be in the chat what the hell, KBM, what are you talking about? Kev, what do you mean? Listen to this stat line against Memphis. Mind you, Memphis is coming off a victory against Florida State. Florida State, we all know, they suck, okay? They do. They're having a bad year. DJ Uyunglele, he sucks. He's bad, terrible, horrible, dog water. But Blake Horvath was 9 for 12 on passing. Mind you, this is Navy's quarterback. We all know Navy's a running team. 9 for 12, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns passing. And then for running, he had 12 carries, 211. Audio is going out. We good now? Oh, can you hear? Am I good? Let me know if I'm good. The audio good? Is it back normal? Because I'll restart the player of the week. But is it good now, Troy? Audio good? You guys let me know. I think I turned it down. Alright, let me see. I'll just put my AirPod in to hear myself. You're good now? I bet. Alright. Alright. So Navy's quarterback. This is my player of the week. Player of the week is Navy's quarterback. You guys are probably like, why the hell is Navy's quarterback number as your player of the week? Well, think about Navy. You think of the triple option. You think of running. You think of they're going to run the ball. Well, they passed it. They passed the ball today. They literally were passing the ball against Memphis. Memphis didn't know what to do. They were getting Horvath. He had 4 rushing touchdowns, 211 yards on 12 carries. He was 9 for 12, so he was 75% passing with 192 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. Oh, and one of his rushing touchdowns was 90 yards. Yeah, he gets player of the week. And now that Navy remains undefeated, they are arguably, people are saying they could be the top group of 5 team right now. Or group of 5 team. They're passing it now. Navy is passing the ball now. I've never seen that before in my life. This Army-Navy game could be insane. Both teams could go in there undefeated. I don't think so, because I think one of them has Notre Dame. But the way they're playing, they may beat Notre Dame. Navy. 1 minute, I'm looking up Navy's roster. No, they don't. They don't run the triple option no more. They were not run, like, you guys, like, if you guys look up too, like, another thing to look up real, like, when we're done with this live. Look at Navy, that Navy-Memphis game. I wish I could show the highlights, but Navy wasn't in the triple option. Like, I don't know what this Navy is, but Navy looks okay as a good, like, yeah, no, Navy plays Notre Dame. Okay. Now, who does Army play? Let me just close that out. And Army plays, do they play Notre Dame? Yeah, both of them, Navy and Army. When the fuck, Army? That's what can't guard me. That's what I said when I turned on the Navy game. I was like, when the hell did they start passing the ball? And not just passing the ball for 192 yards? Yeah, you get player of the week, Navy. You win. You win, Navy. You beat Memphis. You win. Like, great game. And second, like, if I was going to do another player of the week, it would honestly be Caleb Johnson, the Iowa running back who had 21 carries, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had himself a game. But yeah, I think that this past week was a great week of college football. A lot of surprises, a lot of teams that you were like, okay, they're going to be good, and then they weren't good. I think there's a lot of teams that still have a lot of questions for. I think that this upcoming week, there's going to be games that answer a lot of people's questions. We have Kansas State, Oklahoma State. We have Notre Dame, Louisville. We have games this upcoming. We have Bama, Georgia. Oh, yeah, we got games. We have a show Friday for the college football show is Friday. Thursday night, I'll be going live for Thursday Night Football. It's Cowboys, Giants, and y'all going to love that because I'm a Cowboys fan. So that'll be entertaining. We'll definitely probably go viral for that shit because I'll probably get pissed off at the Cowboys and go off. So make sure you guys tune into that stuff. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Join the KBM Sports Talk family. I'll be back live Thursday night. This show is pretty much over. If you guys got anything you want to say in the chat before we end the live? You guys got anything? Let me know in the chat if you guys got anything in the chat. Let me know. Sacred. And you can't forget Amari, too. Amari, a Cowboys fan, too, so You already know how that's going to go. But yeah, you guys let me know. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Join the KBM Sports Talk family. I go live at least 3 times a week minimum. 1 NFL game and then 2 college football shows. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to join the family. And I'm going to say that's it. Because no one said anything in the chat. Only thing we got. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for... I'm already been so silent since this season. I'm ending on this just because I know Zay will bring this up next live. I hope the Cowboys dog walk the damn Eagles. I'll see y'all next time. Make sure you guys tune in. I hope the damn Eagles get dog walked by the Cowboys. All right, see ya.